Today on HKB, we're going to have a little look at Warriors 2 and the Prodigal Son.
In a special versus episode. Go. Welcome to Hong Kong Blurays. I'm Leung and this is Shaz. Say hi, Shaz.
Hi, Shaz.
If you're new to the channel, welcome and please consider subscribing so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And if you do enjoy this, we've been indebted to you. If you would give us a like, that'd be fantastic. So we're looking forward to this episode. Been looking forward to doing this for a while. We have got the recent release from Eureka of the Warriors 2 and the Prodigal Son. And shout out to Late Night Kung Fu Films on Facebook. Peter over there that runs that page, he asked us if we would be covering this, and we are more than happy to oblige. And we thought we'd make a thing of it, have a little versus of, because we know there's people stand on opposite sides of the fence as to which one of these two, golden carrot classics they like the best. Is it Warriors 2? Is it the Prodigal Son? Are we going to agree, or are we going to be divided? So yeah, we're going to look at both films, we're going to look at the package, and we're going to give you a direct comparison. So stick with us to the end, folks. This should be interesting.
So first up, we're going to be looking at Warriors 2. And just a synopsis from the Eureka package. In Warriors 2, Sammo Hung and Casanova Wong play two students of Master Leung Tsang, played here by Brian B.D. Leung, who must use their skills to defend their town against an evil businessman and his gang of killers.
Right, nice, simple, I like it, it's direct. And let's be honest, when we come to these classic kung fu movies, we don't come for plot. We need a basic, revenge setup and some training, and off you go. So, what were your thoughts on Warrior 2? Warriors 2. 1978.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like you say, it's always nice to have a bit of training and foreshadowing, and it's nice to then be able to recognise those elements earlier in the film, how they then get used later on to defeat the baddies and what have you, isn't it?
Yeah, all obstacles put away. I mean, there's a particular lot of foreshadowing with the training sequences in Warriors 2. I like it, but it pays dividends. But I also like that they kind of do a little spin on that, where they train specifically to fight certain villains and they end up getting mixed up at the end. I think that's really good. Let's just say the cast in this film from 78, Sammo directed, absolutely fantastic. They had Korean super kicker Casanova Wong, oddly doing Wing Chun when Taekwondo and kicking is his expertise, but I think it adds an extra dynamic, a little bit more flavour, because the other guy, is it Tiger Chen, I'm not sure, but that he's one of the villains too, with long grey hair, classic sort of look, or like a Hong Kong Kung Fu villain. And the legwork between the two of them in this is awesome, but also the young guy Yan doing his Wing Chun in this. It's like viewers will know that he wasn't classically trained in martial arts, but he's just like the kung fu chameleon. He can see, replicate to perfection, and I feel the way he does the Wing Chun in this is fantastic, and he's convincing, even though it's just like grey out his hair to make him look older. He's convincing as the master to me. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. And if you didn't know his background, that he wasn't, trained as a martial artist, I don't think you'd know.
No.
He comes across so fluent, I thought he was great.
I just like to say though that everybody makes a point about him not being a martial artist and not having any martial arts, background. just by sheer quantity of films and fight scenes, yeah, he's a pretty good martial artist. You know, he's learnt it whilst doing it.
Yeah, I guess you can learn some things on the job. Maybe that applies to.
I do feel so.
As well, and the experience of working with different people. I mean, it's got to, I guess, amount to something at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some Wing Chun myself. You know, no expert by any means, but you know, watching him for Sze-To On, Little Idea, and he's doing it perfectly, pitch perfect, in my opinion, or at least much better than what I did it, you know. And I've been trained in it a little bit. But yeah, he's great. Sammo's great. I love Sammo in this one with his funny haircut. What do you think about his appearance in this one and his performance?
Just a bit, it reminded me a bit like Fire Tuck.
So
bold bit on the top.
Yeah, and there's a nice sequence as well with Lau Wing in there, who comes up against Hoi-Sang and Tiger Chan sort of early on. You know, and he has a really good fight scene. There's some really unusual movements in it. A little bit of monkey kung fu. Really appreciate that. Felt like a crossover from the Shawls into Golden Harvest, maybe. Yeah. Excellent. So yeah, there's tons of good scenes in this film. For me, I think possibly my favourite scene is one with Leung. It's where he takes Bao out, you know, towards the end of the film, where they trap him.
Yeah.
So emotional, that scene. You know, it's really, really, truly epic. Great proportions. The music in this film, some of the sets, I love the sets. I love the waterfall beginning when you've got the opening to scene with Leung Yan and Casanova Wong. Yeah. It's full of colour, and there's some great camera work. And you've got Shek being Dean Shek as well. Used to be bane of my life when I was younger, because I'd put on a kung fu movie for my brother who was like hardcore Bruce Lee fan, and it'd be okay, then Dean Shek would come on and my brother would walk out of the room, go, oh, what's this rubbish? And I'd oh no, I've lost him, like, you know, you're not going to see the best bits. So yeah, it took me a long time to come around to loving Dean Shek and his performances, but now, you know, I very much cherish it and you know, respect what he did. Any more words you'd like to add before we score the first film?
Just that really epic end fight scene with Wong Ha-Hong, and the what's it called again? The Mantis.
Yeah, Mantis style, which he's been
before.
He's been trained in Wong Ha-Hong. So who better to play a villain, you know, doing Mantis style than Wong Ha-Hong? He's fantastic, isn't he?
And you don't see that style very often in films, or at least not the ones I've seen so far. So it was nice to see something different when they were sort of fighting on the floor like that, because normally, you know, they're all stood up or what have you. Yeah,
it's a little bit different. You may recall we watched David Chang and Shaolin Mantis some years back, but again, that looks a little bit different to what this did. I think Sammo makes it more larger than life with the way he presents it, doesn't he? And I like the girl in this as well. I don't know what she's called. I know she was dope for a lot of martial arts, but she sold it to me, the scenes that she was in. So yeah, this absolute classic to me. You know, I watched this one a lot when I had it on the Made in Hong Kong VHS, and I watched it even more probably when I had the Hong Kong Legends DVD. And hopefully I'll get just as much viewing out of it on this one. So this one's a solid 8 out of 10 for me.
That's the same as me, 8 out of 10. So next, Prodigal Son.
So I'll read out the synopsis on the back of the Eureka release for this one. The Prodigal Son follows Leung as a younger man played by Yuan Bu. Lazy and spoiled, he believes himself to be a great kung fu master, not realizing that his father has been bribing his opponents to intentionally lose. After being humbled in a real fight, Leung decides to become a real Wing Chun master. Again, nicely sums it up, quick and easy.
So you've seen Prodigal Son many times over the years, but what do you feel after watching it again now on this release?
Well, firstly, it looks absolutely stunning. I've always held this one really up there, really high regard. I absolutely love The Prodigal Son. For me, it's one of the classics. It's possibly my favourite Wing Chun film, possibly, you know, but we'll get into that a little bit later. All the performances in this one are fantastic. For me, Lam Ching Ying in this film is absolutely incredible. You know, he's obviously the one that Yuen Bu wants to teach him real kung fu, wants to learn Wing Chun from him, and he's performing with an opera troupe at the beginning of the film, and you know, dressed up to look like a lady, like, you know, sort of somebody making advances towards him, not realising that it's a man. That's quite funny. I think there's a lot more humour in this one. I mean, there's humour in both films, but yeah, there's lots of humour in Prodigal Son, and there's a certain chemistry, I think, when you have Lam Ching Ying and Yuen Bu on the screen, you know. I like that. How does that work for you?
Yeah, I agree. I thought their chemistry was really good, and you know, the storyline where Yuen Bu wants to become the student of Lam Ching Ying and how he was trying to get out of it, not wanting to take him on. Yeah, I really like that, and then the way it built towards the end when he does, you know, then decide to help. Yeah, it is good. After some influence from Sammo's character.
Yes, it's a gradual build, isn't it? And it's almost like a film two halves. It does kind of start off pretty dark with like some murder and stuff, with the scene with the ninjas and whatnot, which sometimes can be a bit jarring to people not familiar with the genre.
Yeah, because I felt it as well. It seemed really light-hearted, and then all these ninjas snuck in and killed everyone, and I was a bit taken aback. Yeah,
and you know, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, like, from the beginning of the film, you have the other prodigal son, Frankie Chan, and whereas Yuen Bu, his sort of teachers, mentors, people around him are paying off his opponents, Frankie Chan can actually fight, and he has two guys with him, Chung Fat, Dick Wei, and they basically sort of evaluate every opponent's potential, whether they're going to be a threat to him or not, and if they are, they decide they're going to take him out. You know, they're not going to risk him losing. So really, you could say this should be called the Prodigal Sons, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also, again, you know, a really good cast in there. We've got Peter Chan in there, who's basically makes the film feel like Pink Panther at sometimes. He's like Kato jumping out at Crusoe when, you know, Yuen Bu tells him, you know, attack me at any time. It's like, you know, no, Kato, now is not the time and the place, you know. It's really got that sort of going for it. I like that. And there is a scene a little bit later on that I noticed when he's a bit sad about Yuen Bu, thinks he's dead, missing, whatever, and he's looking into like a bucket which I think is ink, and just prior to, he sees himself, another Peter Chan, like dressed up as a priest. Now, I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but that outfit, that whole look is exactly the same as what Peter Chan looked like a year earlier in Encounters of the Spooky Kind. And if you look at the credits, he has the same name in Prodigal Son as what he has in Encounters of the Spooky Kind. So I don't know if that is supposed to be linked or whether that's just something that's been typed down afterwards, but it is identical imagery, as we'll show with a picture now. And I like that. It's just little touches, you know, something else to grab onto.
Something else,
yeah. Did you like that side of it? And also, did you like the training in this one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah? Yeah. Because he has kind of two teachers, doesn't he, with Sammo and Lam Ching Ying, which was good.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed both of it, definitely.
Yeah.
And then when Yuen Bu's training with Sammo's daughter.
Yeah.
That's quite funny.
Yes.
Nearly got into trouble.
Yeah. Sammo's like quite caricature character in this one, I feel. Really lampoons this part up, you know, quite huge, but I like it, you know, even when he's doing the calligraphy scene, and he ends up doing a picture of himself with his daughter. That again looks like a caricature drawing, doesn't it? They're very good though. I love that scene. It suddenly springs a bit more life into the film for me. And there is a fantastic build-up towards the end sequence in this one, and I think that's where this film really grabs me and pulls me in after everything you've been through in the film, and what happens with, you know, the death of his master, and, you know, paying respects. They got the white on to signify the death and the respect of people passing, and then that fight scene. I'm now, you know, having rewatched it again recently, thinking, how the hell did I not have Yeun-Ju versus Frankie Chan in my top 5? If we'd watched this before we'd done that, it probably would have been in there, because it's such a good fight, isn't it? It builds. It builds on everything that's come before it, and it's just tremendous. And it's oddly brutal. It gets really savage, and I think that's what I like about it. There's some blood in there. There's some nasty looking wounds. And there's some fantastic moves, great pacing. I love the end fight on this one.
Do you think that might have felt that way more because it was just the two of them, wasn't it? In a sort of interesting setting, you know, outside, and those sort of ruins.
Yeah.
Just added to
atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You focus on them two. There's nothing else to focus on or be distracted by. It's very secular, isn't it? It's them two.
You can only focus on them, really.
Yeah. There's nobody else around. It's between them two. It's personal, and I really feel that. Absolutely love it. Before I go on and give you my score, is there any extra bits you'd like to mention in this?
Just about the end fight scene, what you were just saying, actually, about how it ends up with it being the two prodigal sons.
Yeah.
You know, and them facing off and having this massive fight. Yeah, I just thought, thinking about how they both ended up there.
Yeah.
After everybody else that's been involved in their journeys, it just came down to those two. You know, who was the better of the prodigal sons, who'd had the more experience maybe to be able to outdo the other one.
Yeah, absolutely. They both had a different journey and different characteristics. Like Frankie Chan was a bit more brutal. You saw that with the way he handled James Tien's character, who had trained up. Because he had one arm crippled, then he cripples his other arm, basically says go off and train your legs. So he did have a bit of a nasty side to him, but also he didn't see himself as that. To him, he just wanted to be the best he could be and learn from whoever was better. Whereas Yeun-Ju was like really humbled when he realised what was happening, and he wanted to be a genuine student and, you know, learn what he could, because that's what he wanted to do. And both journeys came to the same point, and just magic. For me, this one is 8.5 out of 10.
For me, 8 out of 10. So now we'll take a look at the Blu-ray release.
Yes, another lovely release from Eureka. We have a lovely slipcover, some nice artwork on there that we greatly enjoy. We have a little booklet inside, always nice to have that. Got that lovely fresh smell of ink and some great imagery and some good notes there. We have a double-sided poster, and for all you fans of original Hong Kong artwork, we've got the Warriors 2 and the Prodigal Son on alternate sides. Nice for framing, look good in any Hong Kong movie collector's film room. There's also a reversible sleeve on the Blu-ray itself, which is nice because you get images for both films, or you can just have the one. Very nice package. The sound, the picture, the subtitling, all outstanding on this.
Brilliant.
We believe very accurate translation of the Cantonese, so it's very faithful. The commentaries, we did Prodigal Son, we did Mike and Honor Venomer, Mike Leader, Honor Venomer. They're like the Morecambe and Wise commentaries, you know, they're very funny, very humorous, a lot of banter back and forth. Get pen and pad and write down everything they say, because there's a lot of stuff you're going to want to track down. Those guys are awesome. And on Warriors 2, we did Frank Jang and Bobby Samuels, who, when I started listening to, thought, oh man, I don't like this guy. I really don't like him. And now that's a bit of a joke, guys, because I'm just pig sick with envy at all the things he's done, all the people he's met. Awesome.
That was really fascinating, listening to him.
Yeah, we thought we need a film about Bobby Samuels, you know, and his stories with Sammo and everything. yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to more from that combo as well. Yeah, we'll listen to the other commentaries later in reverse. But yeah, fantastic package. Really good job, Eureka. Really good job, guys, on the commentaries. Outstanding. 5 stars.
So, as you scored The Prodigal Son higher, would you like to explain?
Yes, I feel I should. For me, The Prodigal Son, it just edges it because I feel like it's a more complete film. The storyline for me is more full. You know, I think there's more story in The Prodigal Son and more of a build up. And I like a slow build up. I like a complete journey across the story. I'd just like to put in a little exception here. You know, if I was just wanting a quick blast of really, really good classic kung fu, I might first put on Warriors 2 because that's so easily accessible. It's faster paced. The action is incredible. But when, what sits with me at the end of the day is really, really high moments in Prodigal Son. Like I say, that fight scene at the end of Prodigal Son just for me stands out that tiny bit more. And the Lam Ching Ying performance for me is iconic. I absolutely love it. It is minor, marginal. I really love both films, and over the years I've been back and forth on which I like most, which I like less. What about you? You're comparing these for the first time, and I know you haven't watched them as often as I have. This is probably just your second visit, so what do you feel now?
I'm struggling to say I prefer one to the other. For me, they've both got slightly different reasons why I like them equally. Warriors 2, I enjoyed the whole film, but the end fight with Fong Hak-on doing the mantis style, I feel I've come away from the film and that's the thing I remember most.
Yeah.
Because I know I'd seen it maybe in an earlier film, but I hadn't quite realised exactly what it was. I think I've got a better understanding now. So to me, that's really stood out to me, and I really enjoyed that aspect, which sort of brought the film up a bit. Prodigal Son, I really enjoyed different elements being there was a bit more humour I felt, or at least humour that I recognised more, like when the subtitles popped up saying that Sammo had said bollocks. I mean, that just cracked me up. When you had the Peking opera stuff at the beginning, I really enjoyed that, and the costumes and the makeup, and I love Lam Ching Ying, and that he was in this, and I felt watching it I couldn't decide whose film it was more. Was it Lam Ching Ying or was it Yuen Biao? So I just loved both those guys, but I think Lam Ching Ying just stood out to me a little bit more. So because of those aspects, I can't pick.
You can't pick.
I can't pick. They're even killed for me.
Right. Well, we're gonna have to let Shas off the hook on this one, I think. Then she's obviously very torn here. It's not an easy job when you get two of such high caliber. But I guess you could say the winner of this versus then is The Prodigal Son, and that's just because I gave it half a point more. So that's our thoughts, guys. Let us know what you think. Either leave us a message in the comment below, because we really would be interested to hear what everybody else thinks. Or send us an email, hongkongbluerays@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing what you guys have got to say.
If anyone hasn't already got their copy of this release, we'll put a purchase link in the description so you can find it.
Yes, I imagine most of our viewers will probably already have this one, but if you haven't, it should be easy for you to find.
And if you enjoyed our episode today, please give us a like.
Yes, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to our channel. We really enjoyed this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate all the support, and we definitely look forward to seeing you guys next time. So remember, folks, be true and buy the blue.